What's going on, people? Um, we have a slight problem, people, my friends, and our problem is I have lost my voice. So that means that I will not be able to speak as loudly as I normally do. So please forgive me as I turn everything off and don't hold me accountable. I know today we were supposed to talk about the timing of God, and I know today was a very good day for that, but I'm going to say this. I'm going to talk about the timing of God, but I do already know my Instagram people will not be able to hear me. That just goes without saying. So if you are on Instagram and you are watching from the Instagram feed, I gotta tell you, I don't have a voice. So I'm going to do my very best to get you guys to come to YouTube and watch on YouTube so we can hear. I'm going to do my best to get you guys to come to YouTube to listen because Instagram will be very low. So if you are on Instagram, go to your YouTube and pull up youtube.com/higher talk. We are live on that station. Unfortunately, I am not able to talk any louder than this. And so hopefully you'll be able to do this and come on and be with us. Okay? So thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're going to go into timing as much as we possibly can. And we're going to discuss it as much as we possibly can. So, for those of you that are here initially, forgive me. I'm going to kind of do an overview of where we are so that you can kind of be up. I got my Superman shirt on. I know if I operate like Superman, maybe I can do some super things. That's right. Okay. Once you come on the live on YouTube, just simply say hi. Thank you for all of you that are going to watch the broadcast later on in the day. Maybe you are busy, and I appreciate you for everybody that comes about. My job is to make sure that your mind is leveled up, that the spirit of your mind carries a spirit, which attracts you to the spirit of God or the spirit of the universe. Now, a lot of people have a problem calling God the universe. But if you look at the ideology of God, he has no beginning and he has no ending, which defines the thought process of the universe. So that's the way that is. Anyway, Mrs. Dallas, that's the way that is. So today I want to talk about the timing of the spirit. It's the third principle in the three principles that attract your wealth. For those of you there that are not there, it's the third principle and the three principles to attracting wealth, and that's the one that we're going to talk about today. My name is William Dallas. This is Higher Talk Chronicles. Welcome to the show. Again, this is William Dallas. This is Higher Talk Chronicles. Our job is to restore the spirit of your mind. Now, what I want you to understand is that most of the things that you're dealing with in your life are based in your mind and your spirit. The key to that is understanding who is prevalent or what is prevalent in your life. Religion will tell you that your mind is important, but your spirit is the guiding of those two. Now, one of the ideologies I had a challenge with when it came to religion is separating the triune body. Now, what is the triune body? It's the mind, the spirit, the mind, and the body. A lot of religions have not educated themselves at the level that they understand that the totality of the world is connected to the totality of the spirit, which means everything in the spirit inspires something in the natural. Follow me? Which means everything in the spirit inspires, motivates, or causes something in the natural. The key to that is the spirit is the master, the natural is the servant. So your spirit is the master, your body is the servant. But what is attempting to happen is the master or the servant is attempting to override the master. What does that mean? That means how you feel about something wants to override the truth about something. Follow me. How you feel about something is attempting to override the truth about something. For example, if you feel like a boy, it doesn't make you a boy. The truth of the matter is you are a girl. If you feel like a duck, you are not a duck. The truth of the matter is you are a human. So what is happening is the servant is attempting to override the master. And the reason that is happening is because we believe that majority always wins, but majority does not always win. The truth always wins. Now, if you feel like you can fly and I throw you out of a plane, what's going to happen? You have to understand that there are laws in this atmosphere that were set by God or the universe, if you want to call them that. And one of those laws is the law of gravity. And the law of gravity says what goes up eventually will be attracted to the base from which it came. What goes up will be attracted from the center or the core or the base of which it came. It's just gravity. So gravity draws you back to where it is. So as high as I may shoot a bullet, it eventually comes back. Now, of course, we go beyond atmospheres and all that other stuff. But I'm talking about basic gravity. Basic gravity. Now, within those laws comes the response to that law. Now, follow me here. I do a lot of study when it comes to quantum physics as well. And this is not quantum physics. This is just something I'm sharing with you that I've learned over the years. Within that law comes something that calls response to that law. So within gravity, there is the pressure to pull to the center point, but there is no need for gravity if there was not an opposite pull. You follow me? Okay, so let me explain it like this. If there was nothing pulling you toward gravity, then gravity would not be anything. So that means in order for gravity to be there, there has to be something pulling and something pushing, which means you maintain in the middle. If I take a magnet and put it on top of this microphone and I put something between the magnet, it is pulling toward the magnet, but it also is repelling. So if I set the magnet at a certain height, that magnet would balance in the middle between the pull and the push. Is everybody following me? I'm talking about the timing of the spirit. I need you to hear me. So what happens in this, it means that the law and the thing that benefits from the law have to be in concert and in a constant flow to cause something to happen. Okay, so we know, or what I need you to know is that Time designed by the Spirit is called Kairos time. Now, what is Kairos time? Kairos time is a universal timing that says everything is constantly in a reciprocal and a circular motion, which means it's always there. Kairos time means that the moment you say something, it is created. Why? Because there's no timing between you saying it and it happening. Timing in the mind, in the spirit, is Kairos. So when you say, I'm going to be a billionaire, in Kairos time, the moment that you connect to that, it's created. So when you really believe that, it's created. Now I want you to hear me now, because a lot of people say, well, that's faith. No, that's not faith. Faith is the evidence and the substance of that you walk after. Does that make sense? Faith is the substance and the evidence that attracts you to it. It is the gravity of what you believe. Now, I hope that is making sense to you, because I'm kind of taking you to church. So faith is the evidence and the substance that attracts you to a thing. For example, faith that you're in love with somebody makes you want to be with that person. So it attracts you to the thing that you believe. Does that make sense? Okay. So if faith is the attraction, what attracts you to that thing? I need to make sure I turn my phones off. I will be somewhere waiting for this thing to happen and not being able to do anything with it. Again, everybody meet me on youtube.com/higher talk. So faith is the attraction to that thing. Now, what you can say that faith is, probably a lot easier for a lot of us, is that faith is the gravity pull of what you believe. Does that make sense? Faith is the gravity pull of what you believe. I need you to hear me there. So you believe in something, it is the gravity that makes that thing happen. You follow me? Okay, so now, that being said, let me go on to my next point. So when you talk about the timing, you're not simply talking about the ability to be on time. You're not simply talking about the ability to be on time. What you're talking about is the ability to be in the right place at the right moment. That is what timing is. Timing is not the ability to make sure that you're there at 3 o'clock. Because spiritual timing is not a position, it's an atmosphere. Let me say that again. It is not a position, it's an atmosphere. The reason that religious organizations did so well, or I'm going to stop saying religious organizations, I'm just going to say churches. The reason that churches did so well is because churches benefited from atmosphere. Churches benefited from atmospheres. Now, the reason that they benefited from atmospheres is because when you understand the timing, the atmosphere becomes very important. I told you I was going to turn this darn thing off and I didn't do it. When you begin to talk about timing, the atmosphere becomes very important. So, what do you want to do? Where do you want to be? First thing we talked about is where are you, where are you going? You follow me? And where are my notes? I got to make sure I keep notes. Everybody keep your notepad. Yeah. First thing we talked about was where are you going? As a matter of fact, let me do this. Check this out. Okay. So when you talk about the three, see this thing here? 3 spiritual principles that attract your wealth. When you talk about those things, you have to realize that these are equations that go together. And I'm not going to forget what I was talking about when it comes to the timing. So the first thing is where are you and where are you going? You follow me? That's the first thing you have to realize. Now, the thing that I told you everybody yesterday that really caught my eye was this. I'm going to use this again. This statement right here. The spiritual concept of response and ability. And it pours into timing. Response and ability. Deuteronomy 8 and 18. So when you deal with the second concept, it pours into the third concept. And the third concept is timing. The third concept is timing. And so what I want you to understand is what you're looking for in your life is already created. The key becomes creating an atmosphere. So what churches have done is they benefited from the atmosphere. The problem with the atmosphere, or the challenge, there's no such thing as problem. The problem with the atmosphere is the fact that you have to realize that within an atmosphere, there has to be a motivation or a person that instigates the atmosphere. Who created this atmosphere? Why is the atmosphere? There's a beginning person to the atmosphere. Most of you, because you've been a part of atmospheres that don't benefit you, you've not seen any response from the atmosphere. Okay? So you go to church and you've been there for years and years and years, but you realize that the people in the church are living foul. They're not living what they say they're living. So what happens is that atmosphere then affects you. So what you're now feeling is that maybe I'm not in the right place. You're in exactly the right place. But the key becomes you're in the wrong position. Why? Because the atmosphere is determined by the person that's the leader, the person that's the head. And you are the head of your life. You follow me? Now, here's something I learned. I told you I get these really crazy thought processes. God pours these things into my mind. The head of a situation is not the leader of a situation. When you understand spiritual concepts, which messed me up when I learned this, because because it says the man is the head of the woman. So I realized that it didn't mean what I thought it meant. I thought it meant that the man is the head or the leader of a woman. And that's not what it means at all. What it meant was the head is not the leader. The head is the receiver of the command that he pours down to the body. I'm going to point that out again for y'all. The head my head is not my leader of my body. My head is the interpreter. And I'm going to show you this like this. Check this out. Peep this. My head is the interpreter. My body, my mind right here, my mind is the term. My mind is the translator of the true leader of my body, which is my spirit. My spirit is actually the head. The mind or the head or the mind or the physical mind is actually the translator. So what translates commands the body. Follow me. So now the body, hear me guys, is the universal connection or the slave to the universal connection of the spirit. I love this stuff. So that means when you decide to do something great, you find out from the head what's great. You send it to your mind, which interprets it. Then it's released to the body. So for all practical purposes, the body and the spirit should be in uniform when it comes to preparation. Does that mean you understand? Okay, so let's go back to the timing. So you decide you want to have a business. Most of us are arrogant in our belief system when it comes to business. We believe that all I have to do is figure out what our business. We believe the same thing with church. All I got to do is start going to church and I'll live a better life. All I got to do is get a job. Wife, women go, all he needs is a job. All these things take place. If I can find a man that could take my household and do it, All these things are the arrogant nature of your ability to believe you know what's going on. So here's timing. So if there is a rhythm to where you're moving, if there's a rhythm to what's happening in your life, you have to follow the rhythm. When I started playing basketball and they gave me a physical, they said he has a heart murmur, which makes his heart rhythm irregular. Some of you have to get on the rhythm of the Spirit. The reason you're not on the rhythm of the Spirit is because you're on the rhythm of your church. You're on the rhythm of your job. You're on the rhythm of the people around you that command you. You're on everybody else's rhythm but the rhythm of the Spirit. So when you begin to do something, it becomes a challenge to accomplish it. Why? Because you are defining yourself according to the timing of the things that are naturally in your life. I said something about the conference. Everybody that's the conference begins to look out to see when is the next amount of money coming in and determining whether they come to the conference or not, whether you buy the car or not, whether you buy the house or not. So what you do is you set your rhythm up according to that external. When you set your rhythm up according to the Spirit, it's a different thing. The thing becomes the command movement or serving notice to the atmosphere. I was talking to a young lady that wanted to come to the spiritual conference, and I said to her, say it, pay your deposit, and watch what happens. In her mind, she's going, well, because you feel like you know what's going to happen tomorrow. And because you've been accustomed to the timing of the physical, you find yourself limiting yourself to the information of the Spirit. You follow me? Let me tell you how bad this is. Let me tell you how inundated you are with the timing. At 12 o'clock, everybody thinks it's lunch. If you're up past a certain amount of time, in your mind you're thinking, if you're up a certain amount of time, in your mind you're thinking it's time to go to bed. I was watching this thing about these things, Red Bull and all these different things. They said if you start around 2 o'clock getting tired, then you need a Red Bull. Now, for people to advertise, hear me now, for someone to advertise something, it has to be some type of scientific proof that is consistent across the board. How do they know that around 2 o'clock most people get tired? I can't advertise. You don't ever see anybody advertise, go to the grocery store and buy snails. We have snails on sale at Whole Foods. The reason they don't do that is because the atmosphere or the people, there are not enough people that eat snails to advertise $1 million advertisement. But if there are enough people that are falling asleep around 2 or 3 o'clock, Red Bull giving them wings is perfect. Hear me. The key becomes now they know something you don't know. But in your mind, they're making you feel like around 2 or 3 o'clock, it's time, I'm tired, I'm going to be tired. And all of a sudden, they've done this to you to make you feel like that something is supposed to happen. So now around that timing, you start thinking I need a Red Bull or I need a coffee. Around that timing, you think it's time to go to sleep. Around that timing, I need to be married by this age. Around that timing, I need to graduate from college. Your timing has been so controlled because of all the things that are the principles of wealth. Timing is the number one thing. If you are a person that understands wealth, let me tell you something from personal experience, and the one thing I understood as wealth increased in my life. There are the two most important things in wealth are timing and money. That's it. Products, All that other stuff can either be purchased or takes time. Timing and money. You always make sure you maintain your time, and you make sure you benefit or you master the use of your money. Sorry if I hit the camera. Master the use of your money. And if you understand those two things, you'll be able to do whatever you want to do when it comes to getting wealthy. Your time. If you do not waste the time of someone that's wealthy, because every minute, I taught this lesson on Instagram, maybe some of you caught it. Every minute is worth every hour, is worth $6,000 to a regular person. Double that if you're at $12,000, and you 10 times it means $60,000 to a person that's wealthy. So a regular person, your time is worth $6,000 an hour. That means for every minute of your life, you're worth $1,000. You should be translating that into $1,000. So when someone comes to waste my time, for every hour they waste my time, they've cost me $1,000. For every hour that you're not giving me information that's causing me to grow, taking me to a place that helps me make money, putting me in a position that betters me, you're wasting $1,000 of my time. So for you to sit and gossip about somebody for 2 minutes means you've given that gossip person $2,000 of your time. $2,000 of your time. So ask yourself this. That conversation that you just had, that situation that just took place, the fact that this man just cut you off, would you take $2,000 and give it to the person that caused you to have that conversation? Would you take $2,000 and give it to the person that caused you to have that conversation? When you're talking about how some person said something or some person did something and you spent almost 10 minutes, would you have given that person $10,000 for that conversation? Timing and money. Hit my bike. Timing and money. So the timing then becomes that same thing with the $6,000 per hour. The same thing comes with this. So if within that minute, that was the minute that would change the direction of your life, do you feel that you wasted that minute or you used that minute at the highest benefit possible? Because for every minute that is in your life, it is pointing toward a timing for something that makes you greater. You're either going to utilize that minute to benefit from it, whether you're writing something down or reading something or studying something, or you're going to waste that minute doing something that is mindless and does nothing for your life. Think about it. You follow me? The timing of the Spirit is the most important of the three principles. Timing. You follow me? Timing is the most important. So what is your time? What are you actually looking at right now? What's around you right now? Now, follow me here. I'm using this as an example, guys. It's my conference we're using. I'm using this as an example. There are people right now that are already set to go to the conference, whether they paid their entire price or they paid their deposit. I know for a fact that there are those of you that are going, man, I want to go to the conference. I want to be there. I'm coming to the conference. How many of you every day are driving, moving toward getting to the conference? Because you see it's a benefit. So that means the moment that you decide you're coming, all the timing of you being there now begins to ignite. It engages. So now opportunities are going to be presented to you in your process to not only get you the money for the conference, peep game, but it's going to also make sure that you don't feel like you are losing that money for the conference. Why? Because the timing is now set from now into August 4th. So what you have to do is become, what's number 2? Be aware. You have to, I told you, be at 2 and 3. Be aware. Be aware of your atmosphere. Be aware of opportunities. Be aware. Once you become aware, you begin to see that, wow, this opportunity could have presented $1,000. This opportunity could present $10,000. This opportunity, but you got to get your head in the game, because a lot of you go, I don't have no way to make no money. Stop saying that. Stop saying that. There's not a person that will watch this video or a person that is on this video that does not have an opportunity to make money. Let me clear my voice. And let me say this. Money is a moral issue. Money is a moral issue. Which means that the only reason you don't have money is because either you don't utilize the knowledge it takes to get it, the morality it takes to get it, or the sacrifice it takes to get it. Right now, you can go sell drugs to get money. You can go stand out on the street with a cup and get money. Money is a moral issue. It's an issue based on knowledge. The amount of money is based on the amount of money is based on focus, but money is a moral issue. So if that is the case, stop saying that you can't get money and start paying attention to your atmosphere. I've done my spiritual part. Let me teach you how I teach those that I mentor. Money is not a situation that you should be worried about. You're Superman. You never run out of opportunities to make money. When you say, for example, I'm telling people, listen, I need you to do this. What happens is, what you fail to realize is that everything I ask people to do, especially people that I mentor, is not for me. It's so you can gain a discipline in a specific area that will produce for you. For example, I will tell mentees, the people that I mentor, okay, go back and write down 5 things that you want to accomplish in this year. I call them back next day, they haven't written them down. So you want to make $1 million, but you can't sit down long enough to write down 5 things. Well, I was busy. That's the number 1 mark of failure to be wealthy, because you don't put into perspective the things that are important over the things that are not important. Because I guarantee you that there is not one person that will watch this video or is watching this video that doesn't have time to write down 5 things. But I'll promise you this, you will let things, when it comes to television, when it comes to the internet, when it comes to playing a video game, when it comes to sleep, getting up early, you let all those things master your time, and then complain about the fact that you're in places you don't want to be, when you're creating those places and you're creating an atmosphere that makes it easy for those places to be in your life. I know why my voice is gone, because this will change your life if you hear me. Timing will change your life. This is my calendar. As you can see, the calendar is pretty much written up. When you take the time to master every moment of your life, hear me, until you get a time break, you will find yourself at a different level financially, spiritually, and in your relationship. The challenge that most of you have is the fact that more than doing something about it, you complain about it. More than doing something about it, you complain about it. Then you call a person like me and say, Uncle Dallas or Pastor Dallas, I need you to mentor me. And the first thing I want to mentor is your timing. It's the first thing we need to talk about. Why? Because if you realize that you're worth $6,000, let me listen to this. Let me do this. If you realize that you're worth $6,000 a minute, okay? You're worth $6,000 a minute. Let me do this right quick. Times 60 minutes. That means you're worth $330 something an hour. Times 24. That means you're worth $8 million a day. Times 365 means you're worth, look, Michael, it means you're worth $3 billion a year. And of that $3 billion a year, which is at $6,000 a minute, you waste it every day. When I get up, I got to start working on the show. When I leave the show, I got to make phone calls. I write stuff down. Why? Because right now, if you that's $3 billion, yep, that's $3.1 billion a year is what you're worth. Well, how do I take the timing? Wealth, let me see if I have this one here. Make sure I got it. Do I have it? I took it off. Okay. The difference in wealth and riches. So now, what's the challenge? So when you come to me and say, okay, I want you to mentor me, there are two things I'm going to deal with: your money and your time. If you master those two things, there is nothing in this world you can't do. Being aware, knowing where you are, where you're going, those are simply things to get your head together. But your timing and your money, you will be able to do amazing things. Some of you are so busy, hear me now, gathering information that you're not doing anything with it. Listen to me. Stop gathering information that does nothing but puff you up to say you have it. Stop gathering information that does nothing for you, because you are still wasting your time. And that's more valuable than your ability to say, I know how to do it. So what's your timing? What's your timing? That's why. Now, for those of you that are not on here, we're live on YouTube. Go to YouTube and you can see us. What's your timing? So now let's go back to what I was just saying. So you start taking into consideration, what are you going to do? How are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? Now, there's some of you right now that want to make $1 million. First thing you need to do is write down $1 million. Take a pencil and paper. I'm going to write down, I want to make $1 million by the end of the year. For those of you that are church-going people, I'll give you a passage. Deuteronomy, as a matter of fact, I have it on this. I think I have it on my slides. I think I have it still on my slide. I do. So, for those of you that want to make $1 million, I want you to write down by the end of 2021. It's not too late. I want to make $1 million. This passage that you see on the screen, that's Deuteronomy, the 8th chapter and the 18th verse. The 8th chapter and the 18th verse. Write that beside that. When you get up every morning, I'm teaching you, I'm going to give it to you. When you get up every morning, you're going to utilize your meditation and your prayer. Your meditation is, I'm in process. William, you're in process to your $1 million year. Somebody should be writing this down. I'm in step with my $1 million year. That's your whole prayer. Now, you want to pray about other stuff, that's okay. But I'm in step with my $1 million year. Now, first term. I'm in step with my $1 million year. That's the first thing you say to yourself, because that's meditation. I'm in step with my $1 million year, number one. Number two, be aware of opportunities that are presented in the process. Be aware of opportunities that are presented within the process. I'm aware, somebody should write this down. I'm aware of my $1 million process. I am online. I am in path. I am in step with my $1 million process. Be aware of opportunities that are presented during that process. That's number one. Your prayer is, God, open up every opportunity that belongs to me, moving me toward my path. Open up. See, what you're doing is you're getting in line with the timing. Open up every opportunity. Stop praying for doors to be open. Stop praying for specific situations. Stop limiting yourself to pray for those things that you feel will bring you to that point. Cut yourself loose. Allow the Spirit, let me get my little diagram up here again. Allow the Spirit to open up every opportunity that you can't even calculate in your mind. Every opportunity that you can't calculate in your mind. And what happens is you're now operating in timing. You're now operating in timing. Now, yeah, if you need a mentor, call me. Call me. But you already know I'm going to talk about your timing and your money. First things I'm going to talk about. But that's the prayer. That is the prayer. That's it. That's the whole thing. But that becomes the prayer for a specific process. What you're attempting to do is get in time. Getting step left, right. Left when I was little. My back shaking, my booty's too tight, my rump shaking from the left to the right. That's what you're doing. You're getting in step with wealth. You're getting in step. Now, that is every day until you begin to see fruit of what you're praying for. Begin to see fruit of what you're meditating on. Why? Some of us are so raggedy, we're all over the place. We're just all over the place. And the reason we're all over the place is because we've been created and conditioned by this freaking natural world. So today, should I wear a mask? Should I not wear a mask? Today, I just saw an article that said that you can't really get COVID person to person. All this stuff is happening because you are out of rhythm with your spirit. And when you get out of rhythm with your spirit, you miss the timing. You've got to get in timing, guys. You got to get in timing. And when you understand getting in timing, you understand that your wealth has been limited by your ability to be in the right atmosphere. You have to ask yourself, how many people are around a person that has access to $1 million? My friend, I was going to call him my business partner. My sister calls him my brother. My brother and I are now trying to get 1.2 million. How many of you are around people like that? How many are around people that speak on the level financially that you speak on? When you go on vacation, you're going to vacation. Why? Because you spent your time staying in the rhythm of what you want. Stop letting church be your designed rhythm. Church is not your rhythm for wealth. Just want to throw that out there. So what you want to do is get into the timing necessary to get your spirit, the mind of your spirit correct. Does that make sense? Why? Check this out. I'm going to show y'all something. And maybe a lot of you have probably not seen my advertisement. You haven't seen my advertisement. Let me see if it works like this. If I can pause it. Yeah. I'm going to see if I can do it right here. Yeah, I'm going to pause it. If you look at the bottom of this advertisement, what does it say? Restoring the spirit of your mind. Restoring the spirit of your mind. For those of you that are on Instagram, you can't see it. You have to see it on YouTube. It says restoring the spirit of your mind. That is my intro. And the intro says restoring the spirit of your mind. Your spirit has 3 different ingredients. It has the ingredient of receiving information, releasing information, and then fooling around, and then coming to the end and causing the information to produce. Receiving the information means it receives it from the universe, specifically to who you are. Receives it from the universe, releasing it to your mind, and then agreeing with it when it comes to producing it. So the spirit of your mind is, my spirit speaks first, my mind obeys what my spirit says, my body obeys what my mind says. You have to get into line with those things. It has to be something that produces those things. you should have no less than 20 or 30 ways to make money written down somewhere. Somewhere you should have no less than 20 or 30 things to make money. So, first of all, where are you? Second of all, be aware. And third of all, what's your time? Well, get in the atmosphere of the timing. Now, let's make this make sense, because this is the last day. You want to be worth $10 million. Okay? First step, first principle, where are you? Where are you? First step is where are you? Where are you? Okay, let's do natural. Naturally, I live in Baltimore. Okay, so that's where I am. Baltimore is a different atmosphere. Where do I want to be? I want to be at a wealthy point, at a wealthy place. What does wealth look like to me? Wealth looks like being able to help my family, whatever your situation be. Travel when I want to travel, go when I want to go. That's what wealth looks like to me. So where I am is there. So where am I spiritually? Spiritually, I need to get my meditation together and prayer together. It has to get consistent. I got to start doing it on a consistent basis. Where am I? My physical, I should walk every morning. I should get up and go walk around the block. See, you want to walk miles because you want to feel like you've done something. When you can walk around the block, and the consistency of walking around the block does something for your mind. Where I am here, where am I emotionally? Emotionally, I'm all over the place. What's happening to my cousin? What's happening to my mama? I got to get that together. Let's say you got that together. You did that within a week. Now you have to be aware, because now all the things that are distracting you no longer distract you because you've gotten them out of the way. For those of you that missed class 1, go back and look at class 1. But I need you to hear me. Stop carrying the weight of people that don't belong to you and are not your problem. They're not your problem. Stop carrying their weight. Stop carrying the weight of your grown son. I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to figure it out. Well, I haven't prepared him. That's not your job. Your job is to prepare him to leave. Stop doing that. Stop carrying what's wrong with your mama. What's wrong with your auntie? Well, if I don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. Then it doesn't get done. Why? You have a design designated place. Where you are right now is carrying around junk that does not belong to you. Grown people got to be grown people by doing grown people stuff. It's not your job to carry them. So now you figure out where you are. When you start moving, stop taking care of Pookie, stop taking care of Ray Ray, stop taking care of Foot and Nana. Leave them to their devices. Your problem is you don't want to get to a point that when something happens to them, you could have fixed it. When you begin to get led by your spirit, that becomes important. But when you're led by your emotions, you're still clogged up and you can't do anything. When you get money from somebody, I have a pastor friend of mine, I'll never forget it, got $250,000, bought all of her kids' used cars. Within a month, all those cars were broke down. So she was out $250,000 and nobody had a car. But had she taken the $250,000 and built something for herself, that by the time 5 years came by, she was worth a couple of $1 million. She could have bought them new cars. But we take on the responsibility and we feel we're not Christian or churchy if we don't do it. Number 1, get the trash out of you. Principle number 1. Principle number 2, be aware. Stop limiting your awareness to people you like and things you like to do. Stop limiting your awareness to people you like and things you like to do. I did not want the opportunity to go diving. I did not want to do it. I like diving. I didn't want to do it. Why? I had my own personal reasons. My wife pressed me into diving and becoming certified. Once she caused me to become certified, I met people that carried millions of dollars of influence. Had I decided not to do it because I didn't like it, I would have never met the people. Had I never met the people, I would never be sitting on the opportunity for $1 million deal. Stop limiting your access to people you like and things you like. So many of you are missing out on stuff because you don't understand the steps to forgiveness. And forgiveness is not giving them the access they had when they hurt you. Forgiveness is restoring them to the place they were before they hurt you. What's the difference? You are married to somebody. He sleeps with your cousin. You forgive him by saying, I put you back in the position you were before you hurt me. But you can't have access to me anymore. You get your access is over, but you are forgiven. You get stuck on the side of the road, I'm gonna come and get your tire, help you, but you don't have access to me anymore. That's what forgiveness is all about. Stop going to places you like, dealing with people that you like, because that is not growth. What that simply is insanity. Thinking that the things you're doing that you like are going to produce the things you want that you don't have. Be aware. Be aware. The next part of being aware is be disciplined enough to say, I need help. Being aware goes, I need help. Then accepting the help. You know why I get mentor calls? I can teach you avenues by which to make money. I can show you how to get a couple of $100,000. That's easy. I can tell you the formula to get $100,000 before the year is out. That is so easy, it will blow your mind. But you know why most people call me? Because they need to get their head together. Yes, I get paid to help them get money. But the thing they do most is they begin to talk to me and really realize, I got this problem. I move like this. I need help with my time. I need you to help me with my organization. Why? Because that produces money when they understand that. That produces money when they understand that. Stop putting pressure on what you want because of what you don't have. Example, back to my conference. Stop saying, I want to go to the conference, but I don't have money. I want to go to the conference, but I don't have time. You make the money happen and you make the time happen. Why? Because the thing about timing that I didn't get a chance to talk about, and I probably won't get a chance to talk about it now because I got about 7 minutes. The thing about timing is encouraged to happen. You want to go to the conference. You want to have a new car. You want these things. You do the first step and then work toward the destination. The thing about timing is guiding yourself to the proper place. You're not going to do it because you're afraid. What's the worst thing that can happen? My wife and I were talking today, and I said, I want to go to Jamaica, Montego Bay, Jamaica. She said, well, we need to move some money around. I said, no, go pay the deposit now. She said, what? I said, what's the worst thing that would happen with the deposit? We lose the deposit. That's the worst thing that happened. They're not going to come and say, you stupid people, I can't believe it. No, you lose the deposit. We keep running away from destiny because we're afraid we're not going to fulfill something that's in our minds. When you begin to tap in a level that's further along or higher than you begin to ignite creative abilities that you never saw before. You begin to create creative abilities that you never saw before. You get into a timing atmosphere. My wife decided she wanted to go. We're certified scuba divers now. So my wife decided she was going to go buy her the octopus, which is the regulator, the emergency regulator, the hose that pumps up your BCD, as well as your gauge. She bought the gauge. The gauge was about $1,000. It was retail. It retailed about $1,000. Of course, she didn't pay $1,000 for it because my wife is the discount queen. But she bought it. She bought it. Now, guys, I please y'all need to hear me. In the process of her buying it, she got an opportunity to supply travel, because my wife is a travel agent as well, travel to groups of people that were standing in the place that she went to go buy the regulator, the octopus from. The equipment for scuba. Had she said, we don't have the money for that, baby, she would have never got the opportunity for the next level. I am not trying to get you to hang out with me because I'm a good person to hang out with. I'm trying to get you to be in the timing where you can stop laboring to be wealthy and simply flow into wealth. I have friends that I sit and I talk to. They say, you know what? You're good at this. And after that, I encourage them to make one move and they begin to follow. They begin to go to a next level. I'm encouraging you to get your timing together. Get your atmosphere together. I said I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to say this again. I have a special help to those of you that want to go to the conference in August. I just felt in my heart that I needed to say this again. If you want to go to the conference, DM me and let me know where you need help, what needs to happen, and we will work it out so you can come to the conference. We'll be in Montego Bay, Jamaica. What I'm teaching you now is nothing compared to what I'm going to teach you when we're there. Why? Because I need you to understand. Some of you, your biggest challenge is very simple. And if you push past that challenge, you will open a level of creativity and a level of growth that you've never seen before in your entire life. In your entire life. But the timing is now. The country is about to open back up. And when it opens back up, all of a sudden, opportunities to go places are going to happen. Airline tickets are going to go higher than they've ever been before. Opportunities to buy houses is going to be greater than they've ever been before. Resorts are going to get packed. You're not going to be able to get into a resort. My wife just called to go to Sandals. It's packed for the next 3 months. Why? Because travel is going to increase. All these things are opportunities for you to make money. All these things are opportunities for you to grow. Ask yourself this. What would it be like if I went somewhere, got all my weights out of my way, and I flowed where almost every day an opportunity to make money, an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to advance was presented every single day? What would my life be like? If you take these 3 principles that I just taught you, if you take figuring out where you are, fixing that, being aware around you, fixing that, and your timing, you will begin to see a change in your life that you've never seen before. This was free. You didn't have to pay a dime for it. Utilize it as such. I do a conference. I have a program that costs $1,500. There's a specific program that costs $1,500. And that program that costs $1,500. Every time I talk about the program, the people will say, well, this particular program that costs $1,500, what does it do? And I tell them what the program does. The key to that is understanding. My job is to get you to a point that $1,500 means nothing to you. Right now, $1,500 means a lot to a lot of us. I keep kicking the camera. But what I need you to understand is it's a spiritual thing. It's a spiritual thing. That's all it is. It's a spiritual thing. When you realize that every opportunity that you have is at your fingertips, you have to create the atmosphere. So be aware. Figure out where you are. Fix that. Clear your mind. Be aware and get your timing together. Get your timing together. Don't let this stuff stop you. Nothing can stop you. You're all the way live. You're all the way up. Nothing can stop you. You're all the way up. Why? Why are you there? Because you want better. You wouldn't be on here if you didn't want better. You actually wouldn't be on here if you didn't actually want to be a part of the conference. You all want to come. Everybody wants to be in Montego Bay and walk on the beach. Had one of the young ladies say, she said, I'm coming. She said, but I need some time to be on the beach. You have time. We're not going to be working the whole time. You have time to be on beach, you have time to do all those different things. So let me say this, then I got to get out of here because my time is up. Number one, I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. But I want to say this. If you want to go, if you're in the midst of the teetering, If you're in the midst of the teetering and you want to go, DM me. I have a special arrangement that I will make so that you can get there. Okay, now, you just go on and say this. It's not free. I'm not going to go and say, oh, you can go for free. That's not going to happen. Because if you're not going to invest some time in yourself, your greatest investment is the time that the money you invest in yourself, then I can't help you. If you keep living the world of I want to get something free, I want to get something free, I want to get something free, coming to the conference won't help you. You have to be willing to understand something I teach in my class. Every person that wants $1 million has to be willing. Every person that wants $1,000 has to be willing to sacrifice 100. You want 10,000, you got to be willing to sacrifice 10,000. If you want 100,000, you got to be willing to sacrifice 10,000. You want $1 million, you got to be willing to sacrifice 100. It takes a purchase and a sacrifice into the next level. That's on you. I'm not going to make you feel guilty because you don't sacrifice. That's on you. That's the same thing. People say, oh man, when you were preaching, why do you tell people they're going to go to hell? Because that's not on me. My job is to hear and speak when I'm told to speak. So if that's the case, DM me. I've got five rooms left. Five rooms left. I've got people that need to contact and call. You need to be there. So that's it. That's it for that. That's all for that. So I appreciate you. You have any questions, comments, or concerns, DM me. Let's go hang out. Let's do some things. This is it for the class. Starting tomorrow, we'll go back into some things that we're going to start talking about. I'm going to go into wealth conversations next week. The rest of today, tomorrow, I'll talk about wealth, different systems that are happening right now. Remember, my job is to get the spirit of your mind together. But I'm also Higher Standards Chronicles. I want to talk about how do you spiritually position yourself in what's happening right now on the earth, on the planet. How do you position yourself in the midst of COVID? How do you position yourself in the midst of making your business? What businesses can you go into that will help you to make some money? Because this is the season for that. And we'll go from there. I appreciate everybody that is watching. I appreciate you for stopping by, spending this hour with me. It's just an hour. You spent your hour with your spirit. And so thank you very much for that. So when we meet again tomorrow, these classes will all be on YouTube. They will be here for you. For those of you that have watched it and you're not a part of us, make sure you subscribe and like this video. It helps the algorithm, helps the stage so other people can see it. So subscribe and like. If you want to watch it over and over again, it is set on YouTube because I appreciate you guys. And I am William Dallas. This is the Higher Standards Chronicles. I'm Uncle Dallas' son, Pastor Dallas for others. And my job is to make sure your mind is ready to receive what your spirit has been holding for you all your life. All right? I love you guys. I will see you on tomorrow, 10:30. We're staying at 10:30. All right? Peace.